Hey everyone, welcome to the Ground Up Podcast, coming from the Level Wellness Studio inside the B2 Wellness Suites here in Brentwood, Tennessee. The show that turns pain into pivot and gives you the confidence to build your business. I am your host today, Terry Barga, with my good buddy here, Roy Mangrum. Roy, say hi.
Hey, how's it going?
We are one short today with Vanessa out. It's like old times.
It is like old times.
Which wasn't really that long
Which
ago.
means this show's going to suck today.
There's potential. There's potential for that. There's also potential that maybe it'll be amazing.
Yeah, well.
You think
we got a 50-50 shot at it.
We got a 50-50 shot at that, yeah. We're going to see if Uncle Roy has a story for us. I like story time with Roy. All right. Well, today on the show, we do want to get into, we do talk a lot about starting a business and entrepreneurship, really on the starting level and then on the scaling level, but we really never go through and just help people figure out what they got currently and if it's working. So today's topic is business temperature check. So we're going to cover communication, leadership, customer service, and growth, and we're going to do it with the fastest 60 minutes that we can. So
yeah.
So let's get right into it. Roy,
yes,
how's business?
It's good.
Yeah,
business is good.
You've been real busy.
We've been real busy. I will take it as opposed to the opposite.
When communication breaks down at Barbell Voodoo,
sure,
what's likely the cause?
I think that when you take your eye off the attention to detail,
yeah.
I always refer to myself because I am not a great communicator when it comes to things. I'll just do things. Mm-hmm. As an example, this week, Thursday, I'm like, hey, these shirts got to go out today. What shirts? This for this event. All right. So our process, an order comes in for a custom, then we put it in the system, get the art approvals, blah, 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 blah. That gets printed, puts it on the shelf, on a box. So when the blanks come in, they go in the box. We move it to, it's ready to be printed and shipped. Well, none of that happened, of course.
Uh-oh.
I didn't do any of that. So I had ordered the blanks. I didn't inform anyone I ordered the blanks. So I'm like, oh, this has got to be, where's the paper? We can't find the paper. Oh yeah, I never printed the paper.
No.
So it's the attention to detail.
Right.
Like, the littlest thing that you don't think is important just can stop. If you have a good process flow, can just put the brakes on it. Mm-hmm. As simple as going back to the customs. Are they picking it up? Are we shipping it? Well, if they don't know, are they supposed to guess? So
fair enough.
Yeah, you gotta check the box and make sure that
I like that. Yeah,
we're communicating.
I think that's huge. I think for me, it's similar. The attention to detail. For me, it comes from running and gunning. Like when I am doing, obviously we all wear several hats as business owners. That's a given. And you're usually the top level of your staff does too. So everyone's like got, three roles that they're working in. I go where the fire is to try to put out said fire. And then I go out of there back to, either what I'm strong at or what gives me life or where the business needs to go. If I stay in the fire zone for too long, I will forget to go back to those other things that push the business, down the road, or vice versa. And you make those decisions in a hurry because you have to.
Sure. I think it's also important to look back and go, what caused these fires?
There's that for sure.
Because then you can be like, let's figure out, because I get the running and gunning, because mm-hmm. that's the first thing that hits my mind when you ask about a communication breakdown. But to me, I think sometimes we use that as an excuse. I know I have. Oh, I'm just so busy. Right. If you mess it up, you're going to have to go fix it anyway. So you're not saving any time. You may be saving time today, mm-hmm. but you're not saving time in the life of the project.
You're definitely not.
You're definitely not. 9 times out of 10, it's probably going to take longer on the back end.
Right.
because you've already cogged something else up,
Mm-hmm.
which caused another problem. So if you just take the attention to detail, this is our process. Let me do A, B, and C correctly. Or our staff doing the same thing. Make sure they're doing A, B, and C correctly. Then I think in the end, you can still run and gun at whatever speed actually works with the process, and hopefully not screw up all that communication stuff.
Yeah, I think you're 100% right with that, especially when you talk about processes, which is what we're going to get into next. But I know that often you bounce out of, at least I know I do, if I'm going to switch roles violently, as I often do, I got to let the person know if I'm in there helping them. Sales is a good example. We're training a sales staff right now, and that's great. It's awesome. It's excellent. Like, we're knocking it out, but you forget what they don't know.
Oh God, I do. Yeah,
when
all
you
the time.
run out to go do
All the
whatever,
time.
whatever else I have to do, and kind of leave them with their hands in their pockets because they didn't, tell them, one thing or another. That gets me. That puts you in a little bit of a bind. You got to go back and, hey, sorry about that. In the future, when I do that, don't feel bad about telling me that I've done that.
Yeah.
So that that accountability will help me not leave you in a pickle or in a bind. Yeah. So let's talk about what is clear communication. And I want to leave time to talk about improving the habits, because it's a two-way street. I know we're talking about communicating down the chain of command. There is communication up the chain of command as well.
Mm-hmm.
What's a good example of clear communication? You mentioned it already. Process. Give me a couple of examples of that for y'all.
Of process?
Yeah.
I mean, just like I was saying, like, an order comes in, a custom order. It comes into the queue. However it gets into the funnel, it gets into the funnel. Then it comes to, we got to quote it,
Mm-hmm.
right? So a good example of where that can go north or south, we use a productivity system, right? So we use this thing called Printavo. It's kind of like an industry standard, right? For printing. So we put the customer in there. Here's what they're wanting. Here's the quote. We send the quote through that. Why? Why do we take that extra step instead of just putting an email? Okay, well, what if you lose the email? And they're like, oh, well, you quoted me $3. Well, I'd never quote a shirt at $3. It'd be $7.
Right.
Oh, I'm pretty sure,
Yeah.
Well, I have no proof.
Right.
I'm not going to call my customer a liar. It's a great way of not having them back.
This is true.
But if it's in the system,
right.
The other thing is, I can't tell you how many times you quote something and then you never hear back.
Oh,
they ended up not doing the project, or they went somewhere else,
use
or whatever.
your quote against you to get another thing somewhere else.
Which is fine. I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, price shop.
But at least I have that record I can follow up.
Right.
Once they approve that quote, then we do the art. The proof goes into the system. We send them a proof approval. We have a record of everything, and it's chronologically listed. So if they're like, oh, I never approved the art, what shows you open the email on, June 21st at 6:21 p.m., you clicked approve.
Mm-hmm.
And then the rest of the way through the system, then there's different statuses where the shirts have been ordered, they've been received, we mark that they've been received, print the art gets printed, goes on the shirts, boxed up, shipped out the door, here's your tracking number.
Right.
So it's just that's the best example of a process in my business.
Mm-hmm.
Same, I guess you'd say similar with online orders. Everything comes into a centralized shipping platform. We use ShipStation. Say that 3 times fast. It's a PG podcast.
Yeah. Probably shouldn't do that for radio.
Yeah. Sorry, John. But we use ShipStation, and the reason we use it is you're allowed to bring in all different platforms into one queue. Mm-hmm. For example, Barbell Voodoo goes into that queue. We do custom stores. All the custom stores, when the orders come in, they flow into that queue. We do fulfillment for a couple of businesses. Those orders for those businesses who use an external platform flow into our queue. So when we open the queue, it's everybody's orders.
Right.
And we can, go through them, get them out the door as quick as possible.
So that's a really good process for your customers too, because they are never lost in the process in that sense. I think that's really good.
Yeah, we made those mistakes.
Yeah. I love that. For us here, clear communication for us, unfortunately, is touching base a few different times during the week. Like there is a Monday morning managers meeting. Which is a good spot to be like, hey, how you all doing? How's the workload? Are you able, we were checking in on them with, with the project management platform, making sure they're knocking things out. They understand said items too. Pressing them apart from the team and making them feel supported in that sense. And then we move into our full staff meeting, which is a half an hour later. And then I talk with my sales staff again on Wednesday, and then I talk with with Jen, director of operations, on Thursday. And then obviously if there's any communication needed in between, that's just going to happen when somebody gets stuck. But what I love is that they run and gun now, much like they have been shown with the way they communicate. And
which project management platform are you on now?
We are using Asana.
And what do you think?
I didn't like it at first, but it's because I didn't know it. And
now it's new.
Yeah, now that I'm getting to know it, it's pretty easy to use.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've gotten all that stuff for us process wise is really, really improved with bringing in somebody like Vanessa, who's helped with me business development stuff, and streamlining that. It's nice to have somebody in between me, the one who's pushing the business forward, is strong in talking to the customers and the vision part, and then Carrie, who is, if you don't know this, if you're listening,
she turns the knobs.
She's my wife, who's turning the knobs. She's the implementer, as it were. Having somebody in the middle that understands me and her to help develop that system, like the internal system. We've got a great project management software now. We've got our workflows and our CRM, our beautiful, like, those processes that weren't there even at the beginning of the year are not only there, but they're streamlined and moving now. So internally, that communication has improved a ton. So I do like that. And then making space for, with staff, making space for them to feel like they can communicate is really important too. We both do it. I think we both do it in similar ways. We want them to not fear leadership, but we want them to, they do have to do their job. And that line is that line. So real quick, if you had like 2 tips to give to improve communication habits, what would be your 2 things?
Real quick. So I think often when someone does something wrong, we love to point that out.
Sure.
To get it fixed. But we do not often point out when they're doing something right.
Fair.
So I make it a habit to at least once a week tell every staff member something. Man, you're killing it.
Yeah. You're
doing such a good job. I love your attention to detail. I was doing it on Thursday. Girl brings me a shirt. It's got a hole in it. I'm like, I would have never seen that. Awesome. Thank you. Great job.
Right.
You catch so many more flies with honey than you do vinegar.
That's true.
Every day. So that's the biggest thing, man. Yeah. When you're dealing with staff, they're the heart and soul of any business.
Yeah, I mean, I love that. I think you do that to me, and I appreciate it. It's always timely. You know me well enough to know that when something's super heavy, or we're in a tight
it's
spot.
In your voice.
Yeah, you come and encourage me in that way too, and I appreciate that. I need it. Yeah, I think that's a powerful piece of advice. All right, we're gonna head to break. In the next segment, we're gonna go over leadership. So get your pen and pad. This is where we get the rubber meeting the road here. So we will catch you on the back end of the break.
We know prevention is always the best medicine, but our healthcare system can't prevent disease. It only helps when you're already sick. At Kraft Body Scan, we find cancer, heart disease, and other health problems before symptoms appear. And that early detection could be the key to saving your life. Take your health into your own hands. Schedule a couple's heart and lung scan today for only $149. Visit togetherwescan.com.
Welcome back, guys. We before the break, we talked about communication, how what it looks like when it breaks down. What does clear communication look like, and some tips on improving it, which is a great segue with Roy with your tips of and how to encourage your staff. It's a great segue into leadership. So, let's talk about the difference between a boss and a leader. You see these memes every once in a while, and I think we've been subject to both things, probably more subject to bosses in our tenure of being on this planet, working for other people than leaders. I think that kind of comes with the generation and how things were probably a little more hard nosed. Let's talk about it. Like, what are the key differences in your mind?
Hard no. Yeah. I mean, I think that's true, but also think that a lot of people who were in a leadership role were not trained leaders or born leaders or whatever. And I do think that it is, in some aspects, it's a learned skill, right? I've had a lot of bosses and very few great experiences with bosses. For me personally, with my team, I'm not asking anybody to do anything I'm not going to do.
Right.
And often, well, I wouldn't say often, but there have been times where, let's say, productivity was not where it should be. Instead of being bossy and be like, guys, do more work. You know what I mean? Which is a lot of what you would hear, which to me isn't clear. Right? Do more work. What does that mean? Do you want me to walk? I'm walking around real fast. You know what I mean? For me, I will go out in the warehouse of not said a word, but I will work. Mm-hmm. And what I will see is people will match my tempo. Once they've matched my tempo, I can step back away.
I love that.
And I do it all the time in the office, because I work my butt off, and then I'll see people slowly start to step their game up. I'm like, cool. If everybody matches my energy, then we'll be just fine.
Yeah.
But the flip side of that is, I think with bosses, and I've had it, so I can look at it from that point where I don't see this guy doing a whole lot. And if he's going to be bossing me around, telling me, you're not doing enough, I'm like, you know what? F you.
Yeah.
Watch what I do now.
Right.
I'm going to show you how slow I can move.
Right.
So that's just what I do.
Mm-hmm.
Is it right or wrong? I don't know.
I think it is. I'll give you a good example. One, I noticed the work ethic and the wisdom from a distance before I really even got to know you, before we become business partners. That's me alluding to the stalking phase of me getting to know Roy. I'm very I pay attention to that stuff because I've always learned by watching.
Me too.
I'm not a good book learner. I like to read. I guess it's better stated. I'm not a great test taker. So for me, I spent my, from 16 to about 22, working for bosses. And I just eventually just got like, I can't do this anymore. And it wasn't the boss thing so much as just trying to find my way, find what it was that wasn't like just killing me. Growing up working in factories, growing up working in food service, I knew those things weren't it. Mm-hmm. But those guys, those managers, those bosses were different. I worked for an electrical contracting company for a while, and that I definitely got micromanaged a fair bit, and told that I had a problem with authority. That might still be true. That's what makes a good entrepreneur. No, is when I went to work for the landscape company, took the pay cut. They had no idea why I was coming to work for them. They didn't realize that I had burnt out, and I knew what I didn't want to do. They were like, sure, come do it. And I worked an entire season, I worked myself all the way to the Christmas party. So this company did everything. To give you just a bit of context. In the winter, there was a lot of snow removal happening. The owner and his brother-in-law that worked for the company were also electricians. So they did a lot of like service work and wiring of custom homes. Mm-hmm. I was working in a lot of landscape division under another guy. Mm-hmm. So by the end of that season, we're hanging around at the Christmas party, and these bosses were really awesome. One, there was a Christmas party. Two, there were amazing gifts.
Yeah.
So I was like, what is this? This is what it's like to be part of a small company. They sat there and, we went out to a nice dinner, and our wives were with us, and they just went around and just complimented everybody on the work that they'd done and what they achieved. And they gave everyone the credit for that. And then the joke was, hey, we didn't think we were going to last this long. Cause I looked like a punk rock kid back then.
Yeah.
An emo kid. And, that they were praising the work ethic that came out of it. Yeah. And that's the job that I stayed at for a long time. And I'm like, I want to learn from these people. So it's a husband and wife team. The way they had the business modeled with with its diversity, and the way they took care of the staff was really, at that point, it was the first time I'd ever seen anything like it.
And you get more out of your people when you appreciate them.
I stayed for 5 years.
Yeah. It's appreciating someone is not hard.
Right.
And why some people don't appreciate their staff, just blows my mind.
Yeah. It forced a side of me that I didn't know existed out. Right. Like the work ethic that had been put in me from my parents, growing up, it came out and shined to the point that when I ended up, leaving, 5 years later, they were offering me part of the company.
How old were you when you started seeing that side of you come out?
It's 22, 23 years old. Yeah, roughly.
I was around the same.
Yeah. I'm watching one of my sons go through it now. It's like a metamorphosis. It's like they're pulling the cocoon away.
Yeah.
And you're watching them struggle and flounder around. It's like, I know what's about to happen.
Yeah, you figure it out. Yeah. I did the exact same thing.
You're about to figure it out. It's interesting to watch it now, especially just, I spend a lot of time introspectively, like in my own head, and thinking through those patterns. And then your kids take little tiny characteristics that you don't really know that anybody sees. And oftentimes those characteristics are blown up like times 10 in them. And it's like, oh, dang, you got that from me. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Hopefully there's some good ones.
Yeah, there's a lot of good ones, but the anxiety for one of my sons is it rears its ugly head every once in a while. And the freak out comes, and I'm like, yeah, that sounds like me. I wonder if this is what Roy feels like when I call him. No, I think you're absolutely right. I think that is how you do it. You do. And I'm starting to see it now too. With our staff matching the intensity, because it looks a little different. We're not making shirts, right? Yours
is also more free flowing. I feel like
a lot more relationships involved.
Yeah, ours is very process oriented. Mm-hmm. Here's how we do things, and there's a lot of latitude as far as, if you know a better way, please show me. We'll use your way. These are just guideposts, right?
That's exactly right. Yeah.
The mayonnaise and the mustard, stay between that. But I think that like what I see you guys doing is kind of, here's our characteristics of the company. Here's the temperature of the company. Use your personality to go out there, build these relationships.
Make it your own.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. Make it your own. It is relationship based in the newest hire. Well, not necessarily, I guess the second newest, at this point I didn't teach this person any of that stuff, but watching it come out from this individual observing, the flow of the leadership has been really cool.
Yeah.
And very encouraging. And I try to make sure I tell them all the time that I appreciate it, because that's not normal.
No.
But when it's not there, it's very, very, very visible.
It's glaring. It's glaring.
It's taxing is what it is.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about this real quick before we get to the next break. And I want to go over how how we're feeling, what we're going through, where we're at in business, and what we see. Some of the things we hold back from our staff. How does that play a role? And I'm just saying this specifically to like burnout or that energy level. How does that affect, or have you seen it affect in the past, your team at all?
I try to monitor myself to not allow that.
Yeah. What does that look like?
Well, I mean, I will work 20 days in a row.
Yeah.
But then like last week, I knew I was getting burnt out on Wednesday. So I'm like, just let y'all know, we'll be here tomorrow.
Right.
And don't call me on Friday.
No, this is true,
because I'm going to take a 4-day weekend.
Because we talked and I said, what you doing? I said, you working here? You go, no, I quit. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Like, you mean you quit? And he's like, well, I quit till Monday. I was like, oh, that's awesome.
And your staff pick up on your mood and your stress levels.
Right.
So here's how I know I'm doing it right without knowing I'm doing it right. There's 2 examples. So this week, I literally got up from my desk, went to the restroom, came back, and Amy, who runs the warehouse, she goes, I just want to tell you how good of a job you're doing. And I said, of course, my response is, I laughed and said, what do you want? I'm like, is it review time or what are we
Pivot
doing?
away from emotional feelings.
Yeah. Is it time for a raise? She's like, no, I know how hard this is.
Yeah.
And you do it with grace. I'm like, wow. I was like, I don't know how to respond to that other than thank you.
It made me feel my feelings.
Yeah. It was very weird. Like, I'm like, is it dusty in here? Cause it's my eyes.
Dusty? What is that? Somebody cutting onions?
And then, I forgot something was talked about stress, just how much money comes and goes out of this business.
Right.
And, I'll allow people to know where we were at. I'm not going to hide it. I will also not show the stress.
Sure.
But, it's an open book. We're all in this together. And one of the girls that works in the office had said something about, I don't know how he manages his stress like that. Like, he calms me. And I'm like, cool. That's pretty neat.
It is neat.
Because
I love hearing that.
Me 10 years ago, not that guy.
Yeah.
Not that guy at all. I wore my emotions on my sleeve. And
that evolution's
if I was
real.
stressed, boy, everybody's going to be stressed.
Yeah, and I don't even know that I think it comes from weakness, right? And you get weak when you run 20 days in a row and you don't pay attention. and you put that on top of what we talked about in the very beginning, where you run into the next fire. There isn't time to analyze how I'm feeling and my tone. You just go.
Yeah.
No, but I've been very, very fortunate to catch that from you. Watching you evolve, even in the short 5 years that I've known you. That's been really, really cool.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
5 years. We've been in business 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't that wild?
It flies right by.
It does.
Yeah, it's been a roller coaster. You got to keep your head on your shoulders. If you're listening and you're thinking like, well, what was my takeaway in that segment? It is, you do have to create space for you to process what you're feeling and how you're feeling.
And how you're displaying that.
Exactly. Because it matters. Sometimes what your company is going through as a whole may have more to do with your tone and what you're going through than really anything else. Your business could be in great shape, but the way that you're letting your anxiety or your frustrations, even if it's not business related, right? It's that thing we talk about. You got to compartmentalize. If you got struggles at home,
Leave it in my home.
you got to leave them at home. I like what you said with that. It's like you get a vacation when you come to work.
Yep.
Because you can
check
out of that for a little while and get your work done, and then be good at something for that little bit of time that you don't have to worry about. So I think that's solid advice. All right, we're going to get to how all this applies to customer service, which we have alluded to a little bit, but we're going to tie that up into a bow on the next segment. We'll be right back.
If you're a wellness or fitness pro looking for a space that truly fits the way you work, check out B2 Wellness Suites. With locations in Brentwood and Mount Juliet, B2 offers private suites, shared offices, and day rentals, all in a calm, welcoming environment designed for our industry. But it's more than just a space. It's a community of like-minded professionals who support, inspire, and grow together. Learn more at b2suites.com.
We're back. Figured out the clock over here. Don't worry about me. We've talked about a lot of things, communication and leadership. We've alluded to how this applies to what it looks like for your customer and that customer service. Let's get into that a little bit more. Roy, you were talking about this, the process that you have for communication is, with the software that you use, which I think is great. For us, it's reporting, right? Making sure that we are showing what we're doing, giving our customers a chance to see. This is obviously after they've been converted, and this is just regular communication. I do want to get into what it looks like to have a good foundation for customer service, but that's what we do. Like our goal is we call our clients once a month. We make an effort anyway. They get a here's what's coming down the pike email. They're a part of our Business Booster newsletter. So there's a lot of resources just right there, and then there's the reporting. And then oftentimes, if we are talking outside of that, there is, to me, it's fun to collaborate with my customers, my clients. I do enjoy that. I don't know if I've made that as clear to them that they could anytime holler at me. I say it every time I close a sale. That, hey, we're fluid, that we are communicative. These are real people running this thing. This is not Instagram or Facebook where you have to, hit the contact us thing and then scroll through all of the articles that don't apply to you to try to get to somebody who will just send you an email back. Yeah. We want to be a part of your business in that way. So we try to do that. So let's talk about, broadly speaking, to cover multiple industries, what is a foundational thing that you think is important for customer service outside of communication? Because we have talked about that. So let's go to, you said it a lot. It's not new. The customer's always right. Go into some of that for me and give me an example.
Well, right within reason. I think, but that customer confusion on a deliverable can be fixed in the beginning if your deliverables are realistic. So, for example, if you were saying, hey, I'm going to call this customer once a month. If that's not realistic within the scope of here's how many people can make that call and here's how many customers need to be called. That was my stomach growling, by the way. It's early. But if it's not realistic, then don't set that as a benchmark.
Yeah, right.
Under promise, over deliver. Right. That's one of the biggest things I learned in business. That keeps all the headaches away of, hey, when's my order going to ship? Well, it's right here on the confirmation email. It's going to ship in the next, 7 business days. Okay. Cool. Now I know. Right. And if it ships within 5 business days or 2 business days, then the beautiful thing is you get the review that says, oh my God, I just ordered this and here it is. So that's one of the foundational things for me with customer service is realistic expectations, under promise and over deliver.
Yeah. I think that's, our buddy Tiny says this on repeat, surprise and delight.
Absolutely.
That's what that is. Like when you, it looks like, here's what we're telling you because it's reasonable, but here's what we're shooting for. Have you ever, because I have experienced this, have you ever had a situation where you've over delivered and that has become the expectation?
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
My customers are spoiled as shit, dude. They're terrible. No, I'm just kidding. I love my customers, but they are spoiled.
Yeah.
I mean, as you know, my cell phone goes off. It's probably went off 15 times in the past 30 minutes. I'm always available.
Right.
I have customers that will hit me up at 9:00 at night. Hey, I need to place this order. And I respond right back. And they're like, oh, I didn't expect you to respond. I know you didn't expect me to respond. That's why I responded.
Surprise, delight.
Surprise and delight. Over deliver. Over communicate. You know, got your order. Here's the invoice. As soon as it's paid, let me know. I don't need them to let me know.
Right.
But it's communication. As soon as they make the payment, I get a notification.
Right.
Right. But then I'm like, cool, thanks so much. Here's your art proof. Oh, I didn't expect that today. Well, here it is.
Yep.
Again, with under promise and over deliver, if our production time is 10 to 12 business days on a custom order and I can ship it within 5 business days, who are they going to the next time?
Right.
They're not shopping price.
Exactly.
They're shopping service.
Right.
They shop service. I'm kicking everybody's butt.
Right.
You know, because you can have cheap or you can have good, but you're not going to get both.
That's right.
You know,
those two things, are rarely, they rarely come together, if at all.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, never really. Anyway, moving on. I bring that up about the reminding them, or maybe that's the process that needs to be. Because I remember when I first started doing this, I was over delivering a lot, and then it started to become the expectation.
Yeah, that, and like I was saying earlier, like clear deliverables.
Right.
If you do have to be careful and kind of set those guideposts of, I can't go outside this. You know, like if somebody needs something in 5 days and I can get it to them, cool. Great example. We had this Christian band. They came to us. They were ordering shirts out of Minnesota or somewhere.
Oh, yes.
Guys, did I tell you this story? They needed like 300 shirts. Mm-hmm. They were ordering from like a band merch company, right? They needed 300 shirts. They were flying to Germany in 3 days. Cool. Is this even possible? Yeah, I'll make it happen. So I did it. Which was awesome. Which was cool.
Going, yeah.
Then it was like 3 weeks later. They're like, hey, we just got in town. We're leaving Tuesday. I need 300 more shirts. So I said, okay, I'll make it happen. But let me ask, is this typical? Is it typical you need these turned in 3 days? She's like, no, I dropped the ball. I was like, hey, I will always work with you. But if you can give me more time, it puts less stress on my staff.
Right.
Totally get it. We're good. So, and we got them done. But, you know, sometimes if a customer becomes, I think most people get it, right? They own businesses, so they get what an expectation should be.
Yeah.
If some of them just become a little overbearing, then you just got to push back a little bit in a gentle, friendly, kind way of, hey, man, let's be real here.
Yeah. Yeah. I use that story.
And they respect it.
Well, I used your story where I remember you telling me that. I know it was off camera, and it was a couple weeks ago. But that's how that's why you ended up with Dan, being connected to Dan from the other band that I connected with. He was like, "Wait, what?" I was like, "Yeah, man, he can knock it out." He's like, well, I gotta get hold of him. So I just thought it was a cool story. It's a very good quote unquote commercial for Barbell Voodoo.
Yeah. It's not the norm.
Not the norm.
We can if we have to.
But it is possible. And you did that, like you did it for my buddy over text message too.
Yeah.
And that was wild.
That was the one we did the
Danger House. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, he was shocked, I think.
He was really shocked. He's like, "What do you mean you can get a hold of this?" Because they were hitting their head against the wall.
Yeah.
Finding that shirt. So I thought that was really cool. It was fun to witness. It was nice to be a small part of Barbell Voodoo in that movie.
You're the great connector.
anytime I can. Well, that brings me to our customer service in that sense too. When we go into the world of fitness businesses, I think it's important to, we are in that space. So let's talk about that for a second. It is relationship built, right? Like I used to tell my trainers all the time that on your consultation, your personal training consultation with the people, like, yes, they should know what you specialize in. Yes, they should know your price, and the cancellation policy, all of that really important stuff. But more importantly, they should leave your friend. If they leave your friend, that relationship's been established, they're going to go somewhere else and they're going to potentially have a bad experience with an instructor or a personal trainer.
Absolutely.
And then they're going to think, man, that price was a little higher, but man, they were way cooler. Right.
I've had that happen to me dozens of times.
So yeah,
where we'll have a customer and it's a good account.
Right.
But, they're like nickel and diming on price, and I will always work with someone. But at the end of the day, I have a staff to pay for. We have to turn a profit. That's how business works.
Yes. Just in case you just tuned in.
Just in case you just tuned in. And they'll, sometimes hey, so-and-so can do it $2 cheaper. Okay. No hard feelings, man. And I always tell them, like, hey, if it don't work out, come back. Because I know it ain't going to work out.
Right.
When they're the hot new girl, they're going to bend over backwards for this customer.
Yeah.
But then 3 months later, there's another hot new girl. So this guy goes on the back burner. He's like, man, they dropped the ball.
Right.
Okay. Come on back. You already know what the price is. So
That's right.
We'll see you.
It's that understanding that for me in business, running gyms over the years, and because we weren't never really strong at sales outside of that. It was just always about building relationships when the people came in. That's helped us greatly now because this, the shift in marketing has happened. We are community-based marketing now. We've talked about that on really just 2 of the last podcasts. So go back and check those out. And that looks like you're walking with folks, through these journeys and helping them, in a way shape what they're doing, as opposed to just taking their money, even though they may not be ready for marketing. It's like, well, you probably should fix these things. And if you want, we can start there, knock those things out. And then it's probably good to start marketing at that point. So we even repositioned some of our products to fill that niche of getting to know business owners and understanding that they're not ready for those marketing dollars to even work for them.
Right.
They think
Absolutely.
they are. So we can't be good at our job without building that relationship and getting them to really open up about those pain points, right? What are we if we're not good listeners in that sense? And you've got to have the conversations. And I don't think that changes in any other industry.
It shouldn't.
No, I wholeheartedly think that you should always keep that conversation open and going, and it doesn't stop after the sale's been closed. So, you've mentioned this in brief, but I want to go over it a little bit deeper and maybe outside of into other businesses. So you're talking about response time, and we're talking about communicating well. Why do you think that this why does responding quickly and with empathy build loyalty? This is a softball question. So
yeah, anytime you message somebody and they message you back quickly, it makes you feel good. It
does.
Like, hey, they answered my text. Who was it that said that the other day? They had messaged somebody that was important of whatever nature, and then messaged them right back. I don't know if it was you that said it or somebody. And I was like, it makes you feel good, right? You're important to them, that you're going to take a second to shoot them a message back or whatever.
It's respect. To me, it's
respect,
the first sign of respect.
It's respect. You're important to me.
Right.
Your business is important to me. What can I do to serve you? I say that a lot. I totally stole it from Chick-fil-A. It's cool. They got the greatest chicken. So. But yeah, I think that it boils down to it's respect and you're important.
Right. Yeah, I 100% agree with you. That is you're making me feel like a priority in that situation, or the thing that you're paying for, you're making it feel like an actual priority.
Yeah.
You're not paying for it and then piecing out. We've had plenty, and I mean plenty, of clients that will pay their invoice and then we can't get a hold of them. And it makes it really, really hard. I know. It makes it really, really hard to activate for them in that way. It's like, we are relationship based. Like, we do need to talk to you. We're going to need to keep the conversation going. We want to be able to do our job well for you. And I understand that, and I think this is the overarching thing here, is that we all are really busy.
Sure.
So don't say that. Sorry, I got busy. We're all busy.
Yeah. Everybody's busy. It's just what's important.
Right. That's exactly right. So, and no is also an answer.
Sure. Absolutely.
So if you're just sending an email that says, can't this time, do it for our sake.
Yeah.
So that we don't keep hounding you.
Absolutely.
We want to be good at our job. We want to be good. We want to be efficient. We want you to be efficient. We want you to be able to do those things as well. So, all right, we're going to get into how all of these ingredients make for a healthy business and what it looks like to grow from there right after this. All right. Such a good show, I think, so far, Roy.
Let's land the plane.
Yes, we're landing the I can't even say it.
Say it again.
I'm not going to do it. Say it again. Say all those jumbly words you said one more time. All right. Communication, leadership, customer service, the ingredients for a healthy business. If all of those things are intact, what does healthy growth look like?
In my opinion, and you'll see a lot of people who want their business to explode and just go from, we're doing 100,000 in revenue to next year doing 10 million in revenue. I'm not a fan of that. I like slow growth. If you go from 100 to 10 million, your infrastructure is not prepared.
No,
at all.
You're gonna make a mistake.
I can tell you, we doubled our business like 3 years ago. Not on purpose. It just happened. And it was hard. Like, it was really hard, to try and still deliver the same level of service, the same level of customer touch that we had previously. So for me personally, I like to grow slow and steady. Slow and steady wins the race.
That's right.
The rabbit in the hare, or the turtle in the hare. Slow and steady, planned growth. And what I mean by that is you're intentional with where you're marketing and where you're pushing the company. If you're just like, let's throw all the money out there and whatever, it's like watering all this dirt. Well, did you plant any seeds?
It's a very good analogy.
So I'm trying to be intentional with, like, hey, I really want to focus on growing the online,
right?
Or I want to be focused on growing the custom. And then what you see is, as you're growing it, you can kind of fortify the basics of that business. I can't think of the word I'm looking for, but the
bolster.
No,
reinforce.
No. Like
I'm a thesaurus over here.
Yeah, you are. But what I'm saying is, like, the foundation of that business, sure, or that piece of the business, right? So we have our processes in place, and I know that if I have this many people, we can knock out this much work in a day. So if we go from, A to B, then I need to add an employee and I need another piece of equipment. It's more planned. And when you add employees slow, as you're growing your business, you can kind of keep the culture what it's supposed to be.
Right.
You can hire by culture and not just a warm body. Not all warm bodies fit your culture.
That's exactly right.
But to me, it's a better means of growth. Hey, if you can take your business from 100,000 to 10 million and not miss a beat, by all means,
Right.
come tell me how to do it. But for us, it's been, 20% a year. I'm good with that.
Yeah, I think that's the bigger takeaway there.
Yeah.
Is like, I think a lot of people think that that's the goal, or should be the goal, because again, we go back to Instagram.
I was about to say the same thing.
Instagram.
Standing in my garage in front of all these books with this Lamborghini.
Right. Yeah. Like I took my company 6 figures in 12 months. Right.
No, you didn't.
It's a marketing tactic is all it is. And we've all fallen prey to it at some point or another based on how incognito they've been with it. But at the end of the day, like, good business growth is anywhere from 5% to 20% year over year.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's solid. Like, if you're doing that, you're doing it right. That's a good thing. So that's a key thing to remember. And we have talked about this, I think, at length over podcasts of what it looks like, at certain stages of business, to hire for growth. So in the beginning, you are hiring a warm body that shows interest and may have a few hard or soft skills in the place where you need them to be, so that you can develop them up, right? The next level is to hire that specialist. Yeah. It's somebody who, maybe they're coming out of college and they're entry level. I think the third level is you're hiring somebody who's got the education and the experience, or for me, the experience will trump the education all day long. Yeah. So those are just like 3 different levels of what I see when I think of what it looks like to grow from within with the staff, because then you start producing better. And when you start producing better, then your deliverables are better. And when your deliverables are better, well, then the word of mouth grows more, and the word of mouth grows. Then we go. Like you said, you're not watering the dirt. You've got some really good
some seeds in the ground.
In the ground. I'm going to steal that when I talk to people about.
You're welcome.
About
you can use it all you want.
Marketing campaigns. Yeah. It's like, well, are we watering dirt here, or do we put seeds in?
Yep.
Do we have our funnel in place? Do we have our value proposition, or are we capturing these leads somewhere? Like, what's your CRM situation? Those are seeds, right? Yeah. Water that junk.
Most people don't have all those seeds in place, and for me, that a lot of that's come with experience.
Yeah.
Because I would hear people say those words, and I'm like, I don't even know what a funnel is. Like, what are you talking about? But then as you go through business, you're like, aha, the light comes on, and okay, where's my leads coming from?
It's funny to think that, and I reference this on quite a bit, but that we don't know. And I can say the same thing. When you first get into business, you're not paying attention to that. You're like, you're doing the thing, and the thing is, producing the income, and you're trying to see how far you can push that before you need to bring somebody in to help you. You're not thinking about why it's working or how to get more out of it. You're just running with the, you're just doing the thing, like you said. Yeah, there's really another way to say it. You've got the momentum and you're moving. You get into there a couple 3 years, and it's time to start looking at those processes. We're here to try to get you to do it ahead of time, so that you don't have to have those struggles at year 3, 4, and 5. Well, a lot of times year 3, 4, and 5, there's a dip in income. That's when you start realizing, oh crap, where do I'm not getting new customers. Right. Why am I not growing? Yeah. Why I did the same in revenue last year as I did this year, or, an extra $1,000 or $2,000 or, a 1% growth. Well, 1% growth might as well be 10% death. Yeah. So you got to figure out, what can I do? And it doesn't mean like, well, you have to have new customers, but maybe your products need to evolve, or maybe your service level needs to evolve, or your pricing needs to scale. Gas doesn't cost today what it cost last year. So, as the market moves, that does too. I think, to sum all this up, if these elements are in play, right? Like if your communication is, communication is good internally. I know we talked a lot about staff. I know a lot of people, listening to this are, maybe they're not at that level of having more than one other person working with them. Communication is still the key, and setting up the processes for what that looks like. And it's going to annoy you because you're going to do it and it's going to change. It's that
it's a moving target.
The SOPs and the corporate structure. Man, I've reshaped that probably 3 times in the last 18 months. Because you don't know what you don't know until you get into some of this stuff. So that communication, those processes are important both for the communication to your clients and your customers, as well as to your team, even if the team is non existent at first. Foundational leadership. You got to pick who you're going to be. And oftentimes you're going to probably have to ask somebody else to analyze whether you're a boss or a leader, because it's going to be really hard to be introspective on that and be real honest and vulnerable with yourself. That is important. Are you willing to go where you're asking others to go? Not that you have to every time, but that you can, and what that means to your to the people on your team. Very, very important. And then in the customer service element, when these are all at play, growth isn't an anomaly. Growth isn't out of reach. It is in reach, but it's foundational. It's brick by brick. It's not the fun stuff.
I've said it before on this podcast. Yeah. If you're just doing the little things every single day, you don't have to check the scoreboard.
Right.
The scoreboard is going to fix itself.
Yep.
You know, you don't have to look at your sales every single day. Just do the things. You will grow.
That's the great sports analogy, right? Football.
Yep.
One play at a time, one down at a time.
Yep. Beat the guy across from you. You got 7 seconds.
And the scoreboard will take care of itself.
Yep.
Well, that's a great way to end the show, Roy.
Yep. Roll Tide.
Well done. Guys, if you've appreciated any of the information that we've shared with you today, we just ask that you like and subscribe. If you'd like to catch up on past episodes of the Ground Up Podcast or any of the other podcasts on the NFM Podcast Network, please grab our app on NashvilleFitMagazine.com. It has got a free 7-day trial. You can get access to all of the things: nutrition, fitness, the digital magazine, the schedule, and certainly all the podcasts. It's a great way to stay connected and to get in shape. We appreciate you tuning in. On behalf of Vanessa Hampton, Roy Mangrum, myself, Spread the Positive, Nashville Fit Magazine, and Ezra, our producer, we'd like to thank you for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next one.